What would you do if you are asked to perform a task or a function by your supervisor that puts others at a safety risk? What would you do at a job interview if you are asked a question that you don't know the answer for? Hi, I'm Nadeem, and today I'm going to talk to you briefly about 3 different situations that you might be faced at a job interview. And we will talk about the best ways of how to react or what to say to save the situation for you. Before moving forward, may I request you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And in case you are interested in any particular part of this talk, you can use the time codes given in the description below to jump to the particular part of this video. We hear a lot about how important it is to prepare and practice before a job interview, but you must keep in mind that you could be faced with a situation that you did not think about and something that catches you by surprise. What do you do in such a situation? So let us go through the 3 situations together. Scenario number 1. You are asked a question at a job interview that you don't have the answer for. There could be 2 types of questions that are usually asked at interviews. And if this is a question related to your personality, your experience, or your skills, it can be categorized as a behavioral question. And the other type of question that you might be asked is a job-related technical question. This is a question where the interviewer wants to verify the information that you have provided on your resume. In both situations, what is the best answer that you could provide? Let me guide you by way of a few important points to remember in case you face such a situation. First, try not to show a surprised facial expression or any kind of immediate reaction through your body language. And secondly, trying to bluff an answer is one of the worst things that you could do, even if some people think they're really good at it. And most importantly, based on your quick thinking ability, you need to decide within that split second whether you will be able to come up with a reasonable answer to this question if you are given a little time to think about it. The very fact that right now you are preparing yourself to face such a scenario should be good enough for you to be mentally ready in case you find yourself in such a situation, and to trigger your fast thinking skills. So confidently inform the interviewer that you would like to answer this question later during the interview and that you need some time to think about the right answer for it. What you could say is it okay if I get back to you with the answer for this question later during our interview, as I need a few minutes to think about the right answer? He might say, sure, it's fine if you need some time to think about the answer. Or, depending on the nature and the importance of the question, he might just say, it's not an issue, we can skip this question. So what you avoided here is a kind of an embarrassing situation for yourself, because simply telling the interviewer that I don't know the answer to this question would carry in your mind till the very end of the interview session. Just to make it clear, it is not advisable to say, I don't know the answer to this question in a situation like this. Scenario number 2. You are asked a question by the interviewer that is absolutely not related to the role that you applied for. This would definitely be a technical question that is directly related to the job and its functions. What do you think would be the best reaction or the best answer to such a question? Let me give you my perspective. First of all, avoid showing any immediate negative reaction or expression, and allow the interviewer to finish the question before you say anything. Remember, there is a slight possibility that the interviewer has mixed up this question from another interview. In this case, if you listen to the complete question calmly without showing any reaction, the interviewer might realize his mistake and apologize to you. The benefit you gained here was to show your maturity and your communication skills by being a good listener and probably saving an embarrassment to the interviewer. It may be possible that the interviewer might ask you such a question and be waiting for your reply. In which case, one of the best responses would be to tell the interviewer, "In my opinion, this question is not related to the position that we are discussing today. Neither are the functions that I would be expected to perform in this role. But if you allow me, I would like to present an answer to this question to the best of my abilities and knowledge based on my study and my observation." You can then talk about the topic of the question based on whatever knowledge that you might have about it. But make sure to keep your answer very brief, limiting it to maximum 3 or 4 sentences. Only talk by way of expressing your opinion rather than trying to talk like an expert on that subject. What are the advantages that you gained here? You were able to display your abilities to accept challenges and to show that you are someone who has the skills to learn through observation. Unexpected scenario number 3. How would you answer the question, how to refuse a task or a project assigned to you by your supervisor or your manager? Now that's a difficult one, isn't it? In reality, every superior or manager is well aware of the limitations of the people working under them. But this question is often asked at an interview to get a better understanding about your professionalism, how you react to challenges, and your assertive skills. If some of you are wondering what this means, here is a short explanation of it. Being assertive means being able to stand up for your or others' rights in a positive and controlled manner, not reacting aggressively nor passively accepting what is wrong. If you try to find an answer on YouTube to this question of saying no to your boss, you will find a majority of them addressing only one kind of situation, which is that your boss wants to assign you with additional work, even though you are already overloaded and under pressure. This is fine because in reality, majority of the people do face this problem at work. But I will address a solution to this situation first and then talk about another kind of situation that might take place, but it is much more difficult to handle. First, let's have a look at the answer to the question, how would you refuse a task assigned to you by your supervisor or your manager? The best way to answer this question is to present certain points that you would highlight to your boss if you think you will not be able to handle any additional tasks. What you could tell the interviewer is that I would handle this situation in the following manner. First, I would show gratitude to my boss for considering assigning this task or this project to me. Also showing empathy to their situation where the work needs to be completed for the sake of the business. Secondly, I would inform my boss about specific projects that I'm already working on, with the project milestones and deadlines that need to be met. Next, I would offer alternative options or solutions to my boss. I can start work on this as soon as I complete the project that I just mentioned to you, which is due next Monday. And the third option that I could offer my boss is to say, you can assign this project to XYZ person to initiate this project, and as soon as I finish my project in the next 3 days, I will take it over from him. If none of the above options work for my boss, then I would simply ask for some more time to initiate this project until I complete some of my ongoing work. And in case my boss still insists, I would specifically inform him about a possible delay on some other projects that I'm working on. If he agrees, I would record this conversation in writing, either in the form of an email or any other form of written communication. And now we move to another, more difficult kind of a situation, where your boss might ask you to do something which is against the company policy, procedures, or practices. In answering this question, it must be very clear in your mind that to a certain extent, the procedures and practices followed at any workplace may be amended or ignored temporarily in certain extreme circumstances, for which your boss might have the authority to do so. However, according to me, there are two situations where you would have the right to refuse your superior in performing a task. The first one is if you are sure that performing the task would result in overruling any safety or security related procedure, requirement, or regulation, and that following the instructions of your boss would put at risk any human, environment, or company property or assets. I must stress here that it is 100% required that you are absolutely sure about your actions to refuse, in a way that at a later stage you should be able to defend and justify your actions with solid evidence and proof. The second scenario, which may be more difficult for you to judge, is when you see a direct damage to the company name, brand, or reputation by the actions requested by your superior. These were the three possible situations that you should mentally be prepared for. It is possible that you might never face any of these situations under normal circumstances, but it's always good to have the knowledge and share the knowledge with others. Until my next video, keep safe and healthy. Goodbye.